Alright, welcome to my organic chemistry video. I'm going to make rock candy. This is for Chem 6BL, Haley Bates's section, and my mom is going to be recording. You can show yourself if you want, or not. Okay, so I'm going to make rock candy. We went to the store, we bought some food dye and some flavoring extract. We have some lemon. You can show them orange and lemon flavoring extract. So the first step to making the rock candy, or actually I guess I should go over the ingredients, which I guess are just water and sugar, and I'll be going over the chemistry involved as the sugar heats up. But the first step is to heat. So I'm sorry, to wet the skewers. And you want to wet these in order to get them covered in sugar. So I'm just going to do that with each one of these real quick. And then once these are covered in sugar, they actually have to dry before you can proceed to the next step. And I'll explain why in the next video. But while these dry, I'll prepare our solvent, which will be, you can come over here. Thank you, Mom. We're gonna need 2 cups of water. So, just for accuracy measurement as well, we're gonna put 2 cups of water to heat, and bamboo sticks. The skewers are drying a little bit. I'll explain why we did this. But this was obviously the first step where we wet the bamboo sticks, or the skewers, and then we covered them in crystals, or in sugar, I'm sorry. And the whole point of that is to create crystallization sites. So when we put these skewers in the supersaturated solution, the crystals have a location to kind of grow over the next few days, and that's where our candy will be made. And we'll see that to come. Okay, so we're back. Our 2 cups of water have been heating. They're pretty warm now. There's nothing in it, but I have the spoon ready to mix. So I'm gonna add 5 cups of sugar to the 2 cups of water. That's what this ratio calls for. So there's 1 cup. And the whole point of this experiment is to make a super saturated solution. So it's going to be a lot of sugar compared to water. And the importance of that supersaturation will be revisited as the crystals, as the rock candy dries, and we'll be watching it over the next few days. This is the 4th cup here. 1 more cup. This is 5 cups of sugar. And you can look inside, it's a mountain full of sugar compared to the water. We're back already. I just wanted, you can record the sugar amount. This is where all the chemistry is happening. So you can see the sugar is starting to melt. And it's definitely going to start to change consistencies. You can see the side here. It's definitely starting to get more viscous, almost syrupy. Might even see like a little bit of a color change here soon. I'm gonna keep the heat on high. Okay, so our sugar has been boiling here. You can see that it's pretty cloudy, so the sugar's been broken down. We're ready to add some flavoring. This is the lemon extract that I got earlier today. I'm just gonna add like a few drops here, more than a few, just for good measuring. And that's just for flavoring. So I'm also gonna add some dye. So I'm gonna add some green dye, just because we did lemon. I guess that's fitting. It says to add about like 5 drops, but I'm kind of a sucker for color and excessiveness, so let's just go crazy with it, I guess. Oh, that looks good. See, sugar's definitely boiling. Color's going in there. So I'm gonna let the sugar just boil here. Make sure it's just completely melted. And then once I think it's at a pretty good point, I'm gonna take it off and let it cool to room temperature. But this is where we're at for now. So just to help the recrystallization, because that's really what's going on here. It's just a form of recrystallization, but to make sugar candy. We're going to be putting these mason jars where the recrystallization is going to take place into the fridge, so that they're just kind of extra cold when we put the hot sugar in. That's all our food. Modelo time. Thanks, Mom. So here you can see that our hot sugar solution is coming along nicely. And so the whole point here, what we did is that we heated more sugar than could be dissolved in this initial amount of 2 cups of water. Obviously 5 cups of sugar could not dissolve in that. So when we heated it up, all the sugar was able to go into solution and it dissolved. And therefore we created a supersaturated solution, meaning more solute than should be able to be dissolved at room temperature is now in solution. So when we soon put these skewers in, the sugar is going to be forced to precipitate out onto the skewer because it has nowhere else to go. The supersaturated solution is very unstable, and it's going to want to definitely crash out to where we have prepared crash sites or the crystallization sites on the sugarized skewers. So we'll be there in a few moments. Thanks, Mom. So here you can see the consistency of our sugar solution. It's pretty cooled here, about room temperature, so I'm gonna pour it into our cooled mason jars / Prego jars. This might be a little challenging here. So
You want a flannel?
I think we got this here. Wonder how much we'll have. So, I'm not sure if we'll make as many of these as we had planned. We'll definitely make 2. Okay.
Should have done the little ones.
Make one big one, Ma, don't worry. We'll let you have some. Well, this one's gonna be a little baby one. Might steal some from the other one. Here, let's see. Okay, so we're on to the final step here. We have our supersaturated solution. We have our sugar skewers that are ready to be crystallized. They have these hard crystals. You can see how hard these are. They're already like crystals themselves. So they'll be able to form really nicely in this supersaturated solution. And I just have these clothespins here to keep them locked into place. Let's see. Alright, so those are our 2 rock candies. We'll just let them sit and we'll be monitoring them. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So here we are the morning after. You can see one of our rock candies here. It's solidifying, but it was moved last night, so it's kind of solidifying all around. The crystallization was interrupted on this stick. But on the other jar, the crystallization has been intact, and it's going along pretty well. You can see some pretty nice large crystals are forming on that skewer that I'll be able to pull out, and hopefully they get even bigger. So that's where we're at. So here we are. We skipped the 2nd day. We're on the 3rd day here. And as you can see, the jar that got interrupted continued to crystallize, but it kind of got really scattered. There's no unity, and I already pulled the stick out, and there's just nothing there. And it actually broke just because it solidified, so disorganized, and so disturbed fashion. So this one I'm going to be more careful. I'm going to try to cut it out with this knife. I think that's the best way to do this. So let's see how this goes. So here we have the crystals. They kind of broke when I was pulling them out. I'm just definitely going to practice doing this again. It was pretty fun, and I'll be able to practice pulling these out because the skewer kind of broke, and you could see there's part of it in there. But if you take a close look on the crystals, we definitely have some well-formed rocks. Some of them have some gelatinous on them though, but you can definitely see all that. So those are our crystals.